Wow, good morning. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and this is Dialogue Box on Blossom Nigeria. We are very excited. It's the middle of the week, and we know that a lot of things are in store for you. So wherever you are, take advantage of the week, make the most of it, and seize every opportunity that come your way. You have the opportunity to excel, so take advantage of it and be the best of you that you can ever be. All right, this morning we have a loaded package also. We'll be talking about different ways and means of enhancing investment opportunities in Nigeria. Don't forget that yesterday we talked about how we can take advantage of the Central Bank of Nigeria Anchor Borrowers Program that they have initiated to help in investments in agricultural businesses, farming opportunities in different areas, even for smallholder farmers, and how people can form clusters and even take advantage. You can still apply for the loan in the central bank through different banks that they are working with. They mentioned the microfinance banks, the other financial institutions that are all over the country, even the regular commercial banks. You can also meet them and ask them about the Anchor Borrowers Program, ABP, from the CBN. All right, so this morning we are also still in line with business, making businesses in Nigeria do better. But this time around, we are looking at it from the angle of foreign investments and even local production, manufacturing, and different areas. But what are the major limitations that the business people are facing when it comes to investment in Nigeria, and how can we improve the enabling environment for businesses to thrive in Nigeria? So those are the major areas we'll be looking at, and with that in mind, we know that things can actually get better for our nation, and everywhere we turn to, we know that Nigeria is actually loaded with opportunities. So, but we'll take some some news updates as it pertains to us, and the areas we also need to commend. We also talk about areas we need to, maybe we think the government should look more into. So for this morning, we will look at areas that we know that government has done quite well, but they still need to do more. And that's talking about the fact that for COVID-19, the Governors Forum, the Governors Forum have slated another meeting for Wednesday, that's today, to review the progress on the battle against the COVID-19 virus. So the National Coordinator of the Presidential Task Force, Dr. Sani Aliyu, will join governors in their teleconferencing meeting, which takes place in its virtual format. That means they may not have to have an on-site meeting, but wherever they are, they will definitely log in. And that is going to be chaired by the Ekiti State Governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. So that's a good one for Nigeria. But beyond just having a meeting, we need action points that NCDC can carry out and help out in bringing about creating different areas where people can take advantage of solutions, not just being infected or testing positive for COVID-19, but the way forward, and to bring more people out of the mindset, just like we're saying about 2 weeks ago, that we don't sell the fear pandemic. So rather, we let people know that there is hope. So for anybody testing positive to COVID-19 does not mean the end of the world, and actually most of them are actually recovering. So we need more from NCDC in line with these meetings that are going on. Then still as a related development, we have it that in search of solution to COVID-19, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has inaugurated a body of experts for the health sector. That's a scheme established by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to aid research and development. So wherever different areas where the government is also working and tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. So apart from what we just read, Governors Forum having a meeting today, the Central Bank also initiated a forum for experts where they can review their research and development schemes, what they have come up with, and that is going to be looked into, inaugurated by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. And we say a very big well done for this scheme from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Then we have the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, on Tuesday has ordered the Minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, to publish details of House of Representatives members who collected contracts at the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. So the directive has gone forth, but we are asking that why should the House of Representatives give 48 hours notice to Godswill Akpabio, who was even ready to call out the names of the senators or the House of Representatives members that benefited from such contracts. So we don't see any reason why such maybe giving another length of time, maybe 48 hours or whatever, for him to come and publish the names of those who were beneficiaries of these sleazy contracts. So if he was ready to read out the names, why didn't you allow him? And if now the names are still with him, why give him 48 hours? So we think a lot more should be looked into for this particular case, and more should be done to bring those who need to face the wrath of the law should do that. And nobody should just go under any political, maybe a covering or something. No. We don't want or we don't support that. So for Blossom Nigeria, we have even sent out a publication to this effect, that House of Representatives, you don't need to give Senator Akpabio 48 hours. So wherever you see that, you can also make your own comments and suggestions to that. All right, then excuse me, the federal government has extended international flight resumption. That's when they are to resume till October 15. And the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority made this announcement on Tuesday, that's yesterday, stating that the postponement was due to the increase in the spread of the coronavirus in the country and beyond. So in other words, full flights, international flights, will not fully be on till October 15. So they've extended the time again, coming from the Civil Aviation Authority. Then President Muhammadu Buhari has submitted the 2021 to 2023 medium-term expenditure framework, as MTEF, and the fiscal strategy paper to the Senate on Tuesday. That was yesterday. So the submission, which was conveyed in a letter personally signed to the Senate President Ahmed Lawan, was read at the plenary session yesterday. That's on Tuesday. So we see this as a good one, a commendation, because they are working towards the preparation of the 2021 budget. And with the paper that was submitted to the Senate yesterday for the medium-term expenditure framework from 2021 to 2023, this will definitely hasten the budget processes for the 2021 budget, and also help to put a lot of financial plans in place for the coming year, and also to round off the year 2020 on a very sound note financially. Our only concern, and what we are saying in line with this, is that every budget plan or proposal that we have, they are excellent ideas, but they must be executed, because there's no need budgeting for things that are not executed. It's like a waste of time and effort. And that's why Blossom Nigeria is saying through our platform on Dialogue Box that whatever any government official has as a responsibility, you owe it to the public. There must be a high level of accountability, and that's what we are working towards, and also pushing from all levels, so that everybody must have that sense of responsibility, especially when they are government officials or public office holders in one form or the other. And we look forward to an improved system if you and I keep showing the right interest and we contribute our quota to improving our nation on every front. All right, moving on. We have that the federal government has announced that the partial closure of, The federal government has announced that the partial closure of the Third Mainland Bridge will take effect from July 24th, and that's later this week. So the bridge, considered the busiest in the country with an average of about 132,000 vehicles on a daily basis, we go through this maintenance that will last till January 2021. So for the 6 months duration, they have created alternative routes, which we read out the last time we took this story was on Monday, and we told us where they were considering as alternative routes. So whatever it is, we would like motorists to have a very good knowledge of this so that they won't have to kind of create another lockdown on that bridge on Friday, because if it's going to be on the 24th, everybody should be aware, information should be out, and every motorist should have a very good plan about the alternative route so that they will know how to take advantage of them. So but that's a good one from the government. And like the Minister of Works, Babatunde Fashola, said, he made a very strong commitment to the point of the maintenance of the Third Mainland Bridge, because he saw it as a major infrastructure that should not be left to rot. So no matter what, all should be all hands should be on deck to see to it that that bridge does not collapse, because if a bridge like that collapses, according to him, Nigeria will not be able to build it. He said that the bridge took almost 3 decades to be fully built and ready, so they won't have to go through that again. So the best thing is to maintain it. So we have to cooperate with the federal government in this process of carrying out a maintenance, some maintenance works and repairs, and that will be taking effect from July 24th. Then moving on, President Buhari has rejected a call on him by the Senate to sack the service chiefs. That's the military service chiefs, chief of army staff, chief of air staff, chief of the naval staff. So he sees it is, according to him, let's just go with his comment. He has rejected a call on him by the Senate to sack the service chiefs as a result of continued security challenges in parts of the country. So on Tuesday, the National Assembly, they made a very direct request on him, and they also took a position against the continuation of the process of recruiting 774,000 youths for public works, as announced by the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo. So the National Assembly still thinks that this project should be handled by the NDE, that's a National Directorate for Employment, and they think that it should not be what Festus Keyamo and team should handle, but rather they should sublet the job to the NDE to take over from wherever they have gotten it to. But the president has not given a full approval on that yet, because he has even told Festus Keyamo to go ahead with the project and see to it that the project is well executed. So we look forward to having these issues hanging like those bordering on the sack of service chiefs, the Festus Keyamo matter, and how it's going to be affecting the 774,000 youths that are supposed to be getting some form of jobs from this. So we think that they should resolve it as soon as possible, so that much more can be done in line with full execution of these programs. Then a quick one before we move on, that the Oyo State government has cancelled the third term academic session for the 2019-2020 academic session for primary and secondary school students in the state. So with this development, students are supposed to be promoted based on their academic performance in their first and second terms. That's The directive was reached at the State Executive Council meeting, which held on Tuesday. So the state believes that the best thing for the students to do is to go ahead with the academic plan. So no matter what, that they are ready to cancel, they called it an academic session for them to move on to the next class. So that means for this, they will bring out another plan for the 2020-2021 session. But all the students are supposed to be promoted based on their academic performance for the first and second terms. All right, so with this, we commend the Oyo State Governor, and just a second, I think I'm sweating a lot here. All right, we are on. So with this, we commend the Oyo State government, and we think it's a good one. And at the same time, the schools can, if they can execute this, I think that will be a good one for the state and also for other parts of the country. They can promote the students based on the first and second term performance so that they can move on to the next class. All right, so we have some beautiful things to still talk about, but what we know is that every one of us must continue excuse me we must continue to contribute our best to improving. Just a second, I think I need to clear my throat here. All right, I think it's better. Thank you so much for your kind understanding. We are on. So like I was saying, that we need to improve on our collaboration in ensuring better system for our country on all fronts. So in any way we can achieve that is beautiful. So let's go ahead and get everyone to be a part of how we can improve on making our country better, improving on different things, and helping to work on creating an enabling environment for even doing business in Nigeria, just like we would like to talk about today. So what are those things that we need to put in place if we want to create an enabling environment for doing business in Nigeria? All right, just give you a brief background here, then we can send in our comments, our opinions on this, because we are all looking towards the future, having to make the business environment better, make it smoother and more effective. So attracting and sustaining businesses have always been a key part of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. Since he assumed office in 2015, he has emphasized the need to attract and sustain businesses to create jobs and boost the economy. So he has been vigorously renovating the business climate. So with these facts in mind, how much has the country achieved in creating an enabling environment for doing business in Nigeria, even for foreign investors? Because a lot of times we still have foreign investors telling us that a lot more still needs to be put in place. Like we have an example here, the ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Nigeria, Mrs. Birgit Ori, has alerted Nigerians to the fact that without political accountability, note that political accountability, reliable and transparent institutions, economic development will continue to elude Nigeria. So according to her, if institutions in Nigeria are strong and reliable, businesses will be more likely to do well as per talking about their investments in the country, thereby leading to the growth of the economy. So Ori spoke at a forum for capacity building for special advisors and technical assistants to ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, organized by Conrad Adenauer Foundation in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning in Abuja. So according to Ori, if there is any one thing that the private sectors, or rather the private sector investment or investors do not like, it is uncertainty. In other words, the private sector investors don't like an uncertain business environment. All right, sorry for that break in transmission. We are back. We are back now. So we're talking about doing business in Nigeria and how we can take advantage of the opportunities we have to create the right investment climate. And these comments we're reading were from the German ambassador to Nigeria, Brigitte Ori, who was giving her own view that while the reason investments have not been very strong from foreigners to Nigeria is because of the sustainability of the environment and the fact that when the environment is uncertain, a lot of investors want to pull back. So we're reading some of our comments in this aspect. So we were on it before we went off. So let me continue from a certain place. All right, let me take it from the point of uncertainty again. She said uncertainty about investment conditions, including the legal system, political stability, will deter investment. So in contrast, strong and reliable institutions contribute to stability, reliable framework conditions, and they enable the businesses. So strong institutions don't only need to be efficient, they also need to be inclusive. The link between good governance and diversity is very, very important one in our time. In the 21st century, diversity is a fact of life. According to her, in the age of globalization and information technology, geographical, cultural, and linguistic borders that used to separate people have become less relevant. And she says our task as 21st century citizens is to embrace diversity and turn it into a source of energy for progress. And I'm sure she was addressing the Nigerian populace because we talk about unity in diversity. So it's not just about saying it, but according to her, this is a fact of the 21st century and of the current global world that we are living in right now. So she said diversity should be a source of strength, not a source of division. And this is our experience in the European Union. So this is her own comment. And according to her, this is a very important aspect of good governance in our modern age. So the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Zainab Ahmed, stated that a resilient and thriving Nigeria require that a whole of approach should be employed. So she said it requires that we must collaboratively across the federal and state government and across for all the citizens, the civil society organizations and the private sector to work hand in hand and to be effective, particularly in this post-COVID-19 era. She said we must all be even more focused on delivering people-centered, cost-effective and innovative results, and on ensuring that our work is institutionalized. So with this, a lot more facts are on, but the point is that every investor will like to see a stable environment, an all-inclusive environment where the legal systems are working well, the political system is not resulting to violence and bloodshed on a regular basis. For all of this, most people will not want to come in and invest. So for us to have more of foreign investors, and even within ourselves, within our nation, to have more of local content. And when we talk about local content, we are talking about those who are Nigerians and are investing in Nigeria, and they are really into production at different levels. So we think that these are people that should be able to go all out to help our economic system. But for this to happen, we need to have stable political institutions. We need to have reliable structures that are on ground, even for the legal framework that we have. So according to the German ambassador, if most of these things are put in place, we will even see that foreigners will come into it, because Nigeria is a land that is full of opportunities. So foreigners will come in to invest. Everyone who has one stake or the other will want Nigeria to invest. But what will hold them back is when they are not too sure that if they come in and they get the right, maybe they don't, their businesses are not thrown overboard tomorrow because of one crisis or the other. That's just the assurance they need. All right, we have a call coming in here. Don't forget our phone number 090-5252-5107. So we have a call from one of our analysts, Barrister Prince Uzeme. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning and welcome to Dialogue Box.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. Talking about creating an enabling environment for investments to thrive in Nigeria, we know that quite a number of opportunities are there, but investors may not want to come in due to some of these constraints. What do you think? How do you think these things can be addressed?
Well, to address these issues is simply to ensure that the desired atmosphere is present. Like has been stated severally, there's no businessman that will want to go ahead to invest in a business where the outcome is uncertain,
yeah,
or where the environment is unfavorable to the going forward, to the going concern. So generally, number one, certainty of investment climate.
Yeah.
What that means is that businesses want a situation where they are sure that if I put in 10 naira, after whatever profits that I get, for example, I'll be subject to only 2 naira tax on that 10 naira. Now, if you have already told a businessman or an investor that if you put in 10 naira, that is going to only be charged 2% profits that he makes. And at the end of the day, instead of being charged that 2% tax, you now say that, oh, because of this and that, we are not going to charge you 7% tax. What you have done is that, number one, so to be afraid of your business environment. Number two, you just scared away the whole number of potential investors who are actually watching the first investor carrying on his trade in your territory. So, like I stated, number one thing that investors and businessmen need is certainty.
Yeah.
Then another thing that is very vital is to have a safe political environment to carry out that business. No investor, no matter the certainty that he promises, is going to want to invest in an environment where there are political issues, for example, kidnappings, where there are so many security issues like militancy and all of that. No matter what the government promises you, if there's no way your business will thrive. There's no way your profits are certain. Businesses are not charities, and therefore they expect profits from the investments that they are putting. So these two things, certainty,
security,
political stability is very important. Then another thing that businesses need for their investment is transparency. Businesses and investors are not saying that governments should not change their policies, but they do not want policies that seem to be targeted at them unduly. I'll give you an example. Where a business, for example, an investor goes into a barren area of business, let's assume that Nigeria has never had oil before, or prospecting for oil in the country has become very difficult. And the businessman agrees with the country that, okay, let's have a public-private partnership where we can use our vast resources and our vast experience to prospect for oil. And if we find the oil, we will share the oil on the basis of 70 to 30. We'll take 70 what we have sunk into the business, and we'll give you 30%. Now, that we will do this for a period of 5 years. That is the agreement on which the business proceeded.
Yeah.
Now, the business went ahead and found vast amounts of oil. After finding the oil, the government suddenly becomes greedy and the government changes the policy to say that, oh, okay, any foreign business operating in the country must number one, profits must be shared 50-50. 50% of the government and 50% of the business, and these profits can only be shared for a period of 2 years. And after 2 years, the business must give up the oil fields to the government for government to manage. What this means is that when you do that to the first businessman, you may win that battle, but you can't win the war because other investors are also watching.
They are watching.
How you treat the first people. So it is very important that these are cardinal principles that must be followed for investors to know that this is an investment climate that we can invest our resources in. No investor wants to invest in a climate that it will be like he's throwing water into a basket. So these are things that government needs to put in place for investment to thrive in Nigeria.
All right, a quick one, Barrister. Talking about you mentioned certainty and you really emphasized on it. No investor wants to invest in an uncertain environment and even political stability. But if you are to give Nigeria, let's say you want to score on a scoreboard, how will you rate Nigeria's performance so far across the African continent?
Yeah, I am sure you're asking about our ease of business, doing business index. We've done.
Yes.
I think that there's so much more that the government needs to do. I think from what I'm seeing so far, I am not. If I were an investor, I would not be fully persuaded to come and invest in the Nigerian environment because the issues that I mentioned now, we still have them so much in place. With the Nigerian system, we have a system where businesses come to the government for advice to say, okay, we're about to embark on this business. What will be for example, the tax treatment of this of our profits going forward? And the government tells them, so and so will not be subject to tax. So and so will be subject to tax at this rate and that rate. Then when the people have concluded the business, the government steps in to say, what we told you before was not according to the law. The law states that that thing that we told you should not be subject to tax, we must now be subject to tax. So I think that on the whole, we've not done so well. We need to do so much better to inspire confidence. It's not just by singing that Nigeria is a desirable investment destination. We must ensure that our policies are setting, that our laws are setting, that the government deals with all businesses in a fair and equitable manner. So I think we still have a lot to do. If I were to rate Nigeria and our ease of doing business on a scale of 0 to 10, I won't give us more than a 6. And for me, ideally, we should be doing a 7.5 or an 8 to be sure. Even 6, I'm being very generous. I would say 4. I would say 4. That's the truth. So that's the way I see it.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Barrister. We will continue with this topic tomorrow because we'll still like to get into the more details and even the taxation aspect you raised, how government maybe sometimes they change policy on taxation and the rest. So maybe you educate us more about it tomorrow. But then, like we talked about, the ease of doing business and how to improve on the a better working and a business environment so that even foreign investors can find it easier to come and invest in Nigeria. So thank you so much for your analysis and for calling in this morning. We look forward to having you.
My pleasure.
All right. Okay, this is a very interesting topic indeed because we really want Nigeria to do better than she is doing right now. A lot of jobs are at stake because when you know that most foreign companies, some of them are still like they would like to leave if they are some of them are trying to work out the details for them to move their businesses out of Nigeria, and some that wanted to come in to invest are still not sure. So a lot of businesses are on the balance right now, and we want Nigeria to do better economic wise and every other area you can look at. So tomorrow we will still talk about creating a better enabling environment for our businesses to thrive, and that is all what every one of us will work towards. So we are working towards it both from the government angle, the private sector angle, and everybody out there. You have a role to play in creating a better environment for businesses to thrive in Nigeria. So while we talk about this, you can also make your findings today, and tomorrow you tell us what you think, both on the taxation aspect that Barrister Prince just brought to our notice, because it's possible to have the government tell investors, come in and we'll give you 2% tax, and when they've started, you now increase it to maybe 10%, and it's something that a lot of them cannot cope with. So we need to look at some of these details and be better informed. All right, thank you so much. We have some comments here. Maybe we'll just take this one from Coco. Says, if the Nigerian government want businesses to survive, they have to reduce the multiple tax on businesses. How can one business pay the following levies, duties, and taxations or taxes? Environmental sanitation levy, personal income tax, value-added tax, union levy, local government tax, signboard levy, NAFDAC levy, if you are in the food and drugs, chemical business, etc. So no small business can survive with such multiple tax payment, and that's coming from Coco. Then Coco also adds that in addition to my points above, the government has to create power / electricity. This has to be a major contributor or contribution to the death of this has been a major contributor to the death of a lot of businesses. By the time you look at the running cost, just a second. By the time you look at the running cost of a business, you will find out that fueling and generator maintenance is forming about 80% of your running cost. So he sees this as a very major area where businesses spend money on, and it should not be so if power, electricity is more stable. So we'll still talk about doing business in Nigeria, and thank you so much for those of you that have sent in your comments. And we still have our page on Facebook. You can visit us anytime, still send your comments and your opinion on this, and our website www.BlossomNigeria.com. So let's give it all that we need, because we know that we need a better operating environment for businesses in Nigeria, and we look forward to having you with us tomorrow. Thank you so much, and I'm Blossom. I believe in the Nigerian dream.